Yep, and I can't make Nancy the co-host because this is my other account. And eventually I'll figure out what I did wrong with that. And, maybe I can fix. I don't think we used it for tomorrow, did we?
No, it's just you and me.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, people. How's it going?
Late.
It's late. Yes, it is.
I'm still awake. And
I'm
you are
normally
too.
still awake,
You guys
but-
have got to be dead.
I was gonna say I'm normally awake this time of night because I work from 1 to 10. So I usually go to bed about 2 a.m. But I had to get up really early this morning. So I'm tired today.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, I don't think I'll have any problems going to sleep tonight. Good me. So how did you guys have a good time today?
Yes.
Yay.
Yep. It was great.
I'm glad to hear it.
I had to miss more of it than I liked.
Oh, that always happens to me too. I miss more things than I mean to.
Okay, what place did Carol Meow come in?
Third, maybe fourth, one of those.
Wasn't third. Because we only had 4.
Right, and she was.
Yeah, she came in. She actually came in fourth.
So she came in last?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew she was one of the last 2 people. I just couldn't remember if she was 4th or 5th originally. So
Yeah, it was Amanda, and then SPC Sarah, and then Natalie, and then Carol Meow.
okay. I kind of meowed her name. Carol Meow. I have such a hard time pronouncing some of the Atlantean words, and I know I booger them all up.
Everybody does. Everybody has problems with that. Richard has a problem with them too.
Okay, the only one I'm missing is number 2.
Okay.
Me?
And he kept mispronouncing Sean's name during the thing. Hopefully Sean was okay with that.
Yeah, I think you, Sarah, because SPC Sarah was number 2. So
Yeah, she's the only one I'm missing.
missing. Here she is.
To go on Discord and give Nancy your address.
Oh, I will, Nancy. I'm sorry.
Okay, I need just your name and address so I can, and the fact that you were number 2.
Just as a reminder part, she knows you're number 2. Yeah. But seeing as we have 5 people from 4 different rounds, it gets kind of crazy. Like, which one are you? Okay.
Yeah, what color are you again?
Yeah, like, where'd you go? Yeah, so fun stuff. But yeah, like I said, I part of me was like, I'll just next time I'll remind Richard that her name's pronounced Sean.
Yeah. Well,
if you're not familiar with Irish names, there's no way in the world you'd know that's how you say it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Irish names are like.
Terry, I think we need to go to gallery versus speaker for this.
I am.
Okay, not a big deal, but.
No, it is on my end. It's on gallery view.
Yeah, it's on gallery for me. A couple of times today, when I came into one of these, it was on speaker and I had to switch it back to gallery myself. I don't know why I did that.
Well, usually because I put it on speaker view for everybody, or I would put it on spotlight for people. You can sometimes undo that yourself from your end. It all depends on what panel it was and what we were doing. Yeah. But yeah,
I was able to do it for all the times when it didn't seem like it was supposed to be on speaker view.
But at least on the recorded view, it should come up with, the Brady Bunch view, as I like to call it, where when we're doing the chats, And when then we put it on the spotlight these people so that at least on the video, it'll come out with just the people who are talking on the video and not pop back and forth between people that were making noise or asking questions or whatever. So, yeah.
I don't use Zoom very much. Now I can't figure out how to get my picture back up here.
Okay, so well, if your camera's on, then probably if you move your mouse around on the screen a little, down in the bottom left-hand corner is where mine are. There's a mute button and a stop video button.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
Well, you can still have a camera on it.
Yeah, oh no, it has a camera on it, but I can't figure out how to turn it.
Okay, well, let's see.
They're at the top.
Oh, are they
They're at the top, and I
iPad?
see mute, I see start video.
That's it.
That's what you want.
That's it.
Yeah.
Start video.
Oh, there I am.
There you are. I know. It's like I was telling somebody several times, actually, it's very confusing that every version of this, of Zoom, all the buttons are in different places. And I don't use it on my iPad very often, or I would have remembered that. Yeah. So between my computer and the iPad and the iPhone, they're all in different places. And I imagine they're in different places on the computer, on the PC computers too. It's like, so it makes
Well, I tried
people.
I tried to load it onto my Mac
Mhm.
and it wouldn't take it. How protective they are on those.
It can.
So-
you have to go download a certain version for the Mac. First of all, there's
Yeah.
a specific one, and then it depends on how new your Mac is. There's actually 2 versions of Zoom for the Mac now, and you've got to get the right one.
Yeah, I gave up pretty quickly.
And that works too.
Because I've used my iPad previous years. I retired before I got to the point where everybody was using Zoom meetings. So, I don't use Zoom only for this pretty much. So,
We use it at work all the time.
yeah.
All the time.
But now they're trying to make us, so we have Skype and Zoom and Teams at
I
work.
hate Teams.
And I hate Teams with a passion. They're trying to make us get rid of both Zoom and Skype and only go to Teams. And everybody's like, no.
No, we
We're-
learned this one. You guys need to just like it.
Uh-huh. And so pretty much they keep, they send out emails every once in a while. Well, Skype's going to be going away in a few months. And we go, well, we'll still use it until we log in one day and it's not there. And not until then. It's, yeah.
If you want any meeting, then you need to put it on a platform I get.
Yeah, exactly. So Anne was saying she had a good time today, and Sarah had a good time, and I'm guessing Ellen had a good time.
I had to jump out of the thing with the lady from NASA.
Uh-huh. Michelle.
'Cause it's my nephew's graduation today,
Ah.
and I was in charge of the chocolate fountain.
Okay, well, that's a good thing to be in charge of,
Well,
definitely.
it stopped
Very important.
running, with the perfect curtains of chocolate. So I had to go back over there. I went over there in the morning and got it rolling because it takes hours to get it to where it's doing its thing. And oh Lord, love a duck. Decided to stop running perfectly. And I was like, but I really want to hear this lady.
Well, at least it's on YouTube and you can go
Yeah.
listen.
You can go watch it at your leisure.
Yep. If you go into Discord, into the chat room for that panel, then now there's a link there to the YouTube video for it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And they are all up to date now.
Woohoo! Thank you, Nancy.
You guys are on the ball.
Well, if we don't run into too many problems, then, we can usually keep it going. It's mostly it's just for this one day. Now, if we had to do this for several days in a row, all bets would be off. One day we can, we can manage to get them all going pretty quick.
Well, you haven't had really any technical issues so far, have you?
Not terrible ones, no.
It's been noticeable.
Just a couple where we couldn't quite get the guest was having technical issues getting their screen to show, but that's probably about the only problem we've had, knock wood, this time. So yay. You know, we've been doing it for a few years now, so we kind of worked out most of the kinks, you know. The only
I
problem,
mean, uploading onto Vera's YouTube channel is like second nature now. I mean, I do it. I did it during all the pre-con chats. So I mean, it's kind of second nature,
we
and
figured
it
out
doesn't take as long.
how to keep the porno bots from spamming us. I think they did that once, that first time.
Well, we just have to remember that on trivia, we cannot monetize. And Omrvet days, I did not monetize because
Oh, I did do the monetize on the trivia. I forgot about that. I can go
well,
check.
it's sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of a crapshoot.
Well, yeah,
So
but
I just I don't.
I was
And
gonna say,
because we did say a couple of
it's the
adult
button. Yeah. All right. Let me.
adult
I was gonna say,
words.
let me go do those while I'm thinking about it. And soon as it's a button, it's really easy to click and change it. I can do that. And where's the
But
other?
if it's already accepted it, it's fine.
Oh, well, okay. Sometimes they'll come back and do weird things though. Okay, so trivia off. Where's the trivia? There it is. I just turned it off anyway.
It must be YouTube stuff because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, it is YouTube stuff. Yeah. Okay. I turned it off the trivia ones just in case. That way it won't, you know, it won't circle back and bite anybody. Which
Yeah,
because we had that one year where we put the video up and it was fine, and then like sometime later they said, we changed our minds, you know.
Yeah, because that it was, you know, it was NBA, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we
like
couldn't, you know, we thought it was the question. It wasn't the question. It was the picture.
Yeah, which is just bizarre because it was like nobody, it wasn't even anybody's face. It was just something like a
It
shoe.
was some kids playing basketball.
Oh, that's what it was.
Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So it was
Just-
totally bizarre. So yeah.
Yeah, they come up with really weird. Well, it's their AI bots, so
Yeah. And you're right, Carrie. We were talking YouTube-y things because Vera can do monetizing on her videos. Us mere mortals can't do that on ours, you know. So yeah. I don't know. I had a thought and again it escaped. Earlier today, I heard a noise in my house, and I swear one of the cats was trying to kill something. I mean, like the chair, kill the chair, you know, not a bug. Because bugs, they just go, you know, like, oh, great. You're not very good at being like, I had a couple moths flying around. Don't know how they got in the house. I have a bug zapper. It doesn't do much for the moths, but I thought it would. But the other day, I'm in my recliner and the cat's in my lap and a moth goes flying by, and honest to God, the cat goes. Anyway, you know, didn't even try to swat at it, nothing. It's just
Asa would have barked at it.
well, I mean,
But that's the difference between a dog and a cat.
right. But usually cats will be like, I'm trying to get you. Yeah, no, they didn't care. And they've also been coming around again going, hey, you want to feed us early? It's not your dinner time yet. I went into the kitchen to get dinner earlier, and one of my cats runs and sits by her bowl. It's empty. You got it. I'm like, it's not dinner time for you. It's dinner time for me.
That gap that we had
You saw
between
how I had to share my dinner.
and the beginning of the next one actually was kind of nice. I was thinking it's kind of nice to have a long break because I did get to feed my dogs and say hi to my husband and just let him know that I'm still alive and still around.
I'm still here. I didn't fall into a black hole.
Yeah.
Yep. I see that Mary joined us. Yay.
No picture though, because I'm literally lying in bed.
That's all right.
We understand. Yeah, I was gonna say Nancy's done a lot of them from sitting up in her bed, and but she's because you'd see her headboard behind her. I'm usually doing things either from here with my lovely DVD collection behind me, or in my recliner in my living room. But then I have to hold the phone up or the iPad up, and it's really annoying. So I don't do that terribly often. So I'm guessing Anne must have her iPad propped somewhere. You're not
Yeah.
actually holding it. Yeah.
I'm in my office actually, and I have it on a little stack of cube things. So
Cool.
it's up above. Otherwise, you'd see my chest probably. So.
When we first started doing Zoom things from home, one of my coworkers would be doing the Zoom sessions from his phone, and then he'd lay it down right next to his keyboard to type, so we'd get an up view of his nose. Dude, move your phone. Oh, sorry. Like, you know, we don't need to see your nose. And then just the way things were in his room, then the ceiling fan would be like, it looked like it was coming out of his head, and you'd see the blades just twirling around his head. Like,
Could have been worse. He could have put it upside down. You found out he didn't wear pants to his meeting.
Well, there's been a few of those.
yeah.
Uh,
It is true. That would have been worse. Yes, definitely. Yeah, we were talking about the lawyer that looked like a cat for a while because he couldn't figure out how to, how his kid had turned on the cat avatar, and he couldn't turn it off. Honestly, Judge, I'm not a cat. We know that. Although with AI these days, yeah, who knows?
That discussion that the Hollywood people were having about AI was really interesting because I did not realize that there were that many different applications of AI that would apply to visual media.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really scary because the AI can capture your entire image and then basically clone you into things, and you just lost. I mean, you have no rights whatsoever in. Well, yeah, we're gonna put her in this movie here and have her doing this and this. And, okay, well, where's my money?
Well,
Oh no, you're not there. It's your image.
yeah, but it's not really you, so we don't have to pay her because she's not real. Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say, I know Getty Images is having a couple of art. I think they filed lawsuits against a couple of the art AI things that are going around because it was scraping images off the internet to try and make art out of them. But you can tell that some of them are Getty copyrighted images because the Getty copyright is in it. It might be squished a little or whatever, but you can still see it. And they're like, dude, you can't use our copyrighted art like this. And the AI people are going, yeah, we can. It's out on the internet. We can use anything we want to. So that's going to be a fight real soon too.
That's gonna. I mean, that's. I mean,
Mary, you're muted in case.
that's a big issue with
deliberately or not.
plagiarism and all
Yeah, the
sorts of.
intellectual property law hasn't been written yet for that, so that's gonna be tossed around in court for the next few years.
Yep. Well, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Vera got off of Wattpad, because a lot of those were being cloned and AI stories coming out.
Yeah. I have a Amazon Echo way up there on the top of this bookcase that you can't see. And the plug is down here and it keeps falling off of where I have it. And then it tries to jerk my little Echo off the bookcase. I'm so fiddling with it. Doing that. I renamed mine. It's not named with the A word anymore. So
I was going to say you renamed it.
Yeah, so
we
that
we can't set yours off by speaking to it.
Well, you can. And every time I watch Quantum Leap, it gets set off. But that's, because Amazon gave you a choice a while back to rename it. You could name it Alexa, which was the default name. You could change its name to Computer, because then you can sound like Scotty, on the Enterprise. Computer, do this. And or you could name it Ziggy. And yep, it heard me. And so watching Quantum Leap, I watched the new season, and if you haven't seen that, it's a lot of fun. But every time they would say it, it would be about a 50-50 shot of when they said Ziggy on the TV show, would mine hear it? Because the thing with the Ziggy being the wake word, is that if you say it too fast, it doesn't have enough of a, most people don't put enough of a pause between Ziggy and the next word, because Y, the Y sound, or rather the E sound, doesn't really lend itself to having a pause in there. And so it doesn't always hear you. It doesn't realize you're talking to it. But if you call it Alexa, that makes you pause a little bit. And so does computer before you say the next word. That it's harder to jam the A and the R sound into the next word than it is an E sound.
Especially if you say it with a Scottish accent, computer.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. My friend Margaret is from Glasgow, and she has a hard time getting Siri to understand her. Yeah. And so she just kind of laughs about it, because she's like, what you going to do? But yeah, people in other countries do have a hard time getting Siri to understand them.
And then the new Autobot that answers my phone
Uh-huh.
at work. If I don't pick up the phone, you get my Autobot. And she sounds like a very posh English nanny. I live in Arizona. She's a posh English nanny answering my telephone.
So it's not voicemail, it's different than voicemail?
Yeah, because it types out everything that you say. So if you wanted to leave me your life story on a thing, it types it out for me. But when you're talking to it, it sounds like a posh English nanny.
That's kind of funny.
Thank you for calling the office of Sarah. She's not available right now. Please leave a message. If you have an urgent need, please call the front desk by pressing 0.
All right, cool.
I
Yeah,
had a GP I had
I'd
a
call you just
GPS
to
in
be
my
entertained by
car
that.
that I named Nigel because he had an English accent.
What was it that you named Nigel? Your GPS?
Nigel. Oh, the GPS in my car.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I heard the Nigel bit, but not the what it was bit.
Yeah.
So what were you saying, Mary? Because you guys were talking over each other. Or at least
I was saying I would call Sarah's phone just to be entertained by that.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, like, hi, no message, just listening to your answers.
Oh my God. I'd be like, I'd just be wondering what vendor was like crash calling me all the time.
Yeah, where I work, they took our voicemail away about, I'm trying to do the math on it. Probably 5 years ago now, because it was way before the pandemic. So, that was like 3 years ago. So, yeah, about 5. They decided that nobody left us messages enough, and we didn't have any business need for customers to call us. So they took away our voicemail. And then most of us started using our cell phone at that point, because if I'm not at my desk and you need to get a hold of me, there's literally no point in calling my desk, because you can't leave me a message, right? So everybody just started using their cell phones. And then the pandemic thing and working from home, and everybody was really using their cell phones. And now they decided, well, since some of us haven't used our office phones for, I think it's the last 6 months, like we didn't use them at all. And they're like, yeah, we're going to get rid of your phone. So now I have no work phone number at all. And I'm like, okay, so, whenever you apply for a loan somewhere, that's one of the questions they ask you, what's your work phone? So how's that gonna, no, I don't have one. That doesn't sound like a legitimate answer, does it?
It does not. Especially if you were going for a security clearance or something.
Yeah, and I work at a bank, so okay.
Anymore, it does now though, because a lot of companies are in the same situation.
Really?
Where if they've got people doing hybrid or remote work, they just have their employees using their cell phones a lot, which personally I kind of find questionable, because that really starts to kind of
They don't
blur
even
lines a little too much.
It's very blurry, and they don't pay us for them either. We have to use our own cell phone. They don't pay us. We have to have internet from home. They don't pay us for that. And we have to use our own computers at home too, and they don't pay us for that. And it's like, you people are a bank. It's not like you've got no money.
That's why they've got money, because they're not paying for the things.
Yeah.
It's an excellent point you have, yes. And I was going to say, now I know it's really getting close to dinner time for the kitties because they're both over here. They're dead. One's over here, one's over here. Going, you want to feed us already.
Oh, they ate late. They're like Lebanese or something.
I feed them at 12:30 and 12:30, so well, like I said, I get off work at 10, so usually I'm home by midnight-ish, and that just is easier for me. 12:30 is right before I leave for work or right before I sit down to work from home. So that seems to be the best time for me, when I can feed them 12 hours apart, because this one, which is Loki that I'm pointing at, is a little piggy boy, and he will snarf up all his food at one time and then make himself sick. And so the vet was like, all right, well, if you feed him twice a day instead, that'll help out with that. And it really has helped, but it's also a pain because now I have to feed the cats twice a day. And then also, if I'm out of town, my friend has to come twice a day to feed the cats. But she lives down the street, so it's not a huge problem. Yes, you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah, no, maybe. Yeah, all right.
Be that way.
Yeah, well, he's not a big fan of being picked up. Let me see. Come here. Come here. Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. All right, there he is.
Oh, he's a tiny one.
He's a big old scaredy cat. That's his problem. This is Loki. Say hi to everybody. They won't hurt you. They're not real. Well, they're not really here. I didn't mean that. They're not real. They're not really here real. They're just video people. He does not like people. That's his problem. That's why it's going, they're not real. They're not really in the house.
Asen is right now curled up on my bed on my pillow.
Oh.
So when this is over and I decide to go to bed, I'll have to move him so that I can have my pillow.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my neighbor's cats that I'm taking care of, they both have dry food gravity feeders, and the one only gets wet food once a day, so that makes it pretty simple for me to just pop
yay,
in
that's
here
good.
and do stuff. Oh, and I don't know if you remember when I was asking you about like how to tell if the one cat was pregnant. Apparently she was. I was always so uncertain, and I kept suspecting things. Then I'm like, she would go hide in the back of the container where I couldn't access it because there was all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. And so then I started like seeing some other things, but I thought maybe it was just baby daddy roaming around. But no, then a couple days ago, I did definitively see a black and orange patchy kitten that was probably several weeks old, that she managed to birth at least one and hide it. And now it's growing, and I'm like, okay, well, good on you there. And baby daddy's hanging around. So now they've got like a whole little family living in there.
Well, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, when Goldie gave birth to her puppies, Goldie is Asen's mom. She got up under the couch, and I mean, we had a very low clearance, but Goldie was kind of a small dog, and I could kind of tell there was something going on. And then so Alex had to actually pick up the couch so that we could grab, bring the dog out. And she was in labor, but she was having trouble with the first one, which happened to be Asen. And so I helped to deliver a puppy.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that.
And then afterward, then after he came out, then I'm, poking her. Okay, now you're supposed to lick him. You got to clean him. I'm not going to do it. You have to clean him. And then after she got him, then the other puppies came out, and she was able to, take care of all of them.
Nice.
So yeah, Asen's been my baby since he was born.
Oh, yay. I don't mind dogs. I've just never had a life that was very conducive to owning dogs, because I've always worked weird hours, and and it's and sometimes you work like 9 or 10 hour days, and the dog needs to go for a walk, and I've so I just figured that owning cats was easier.
It definitely is easier.
Yeah.
I've always had dogs. I only had one cat in my life, and unfortunately, it got ill and didn't live very long, and I never had another one. So
We
And
had
we've had both. The problem is now, I can't change the litter. Anytime I get near it, it triggers an asthma attack.
oh, that
Mhm.
sucks.
Now, the cats themselves don't bother me, but anytime I'm around the litter, they trigger an asthma attack.
Wonder
The
if it's
dust from the
diet-
litter.
Wonder if it's the diatomaceous earth.
I don't know.
So I say there's so many different kinds of litter now that, you know, if you had wanted to have a cat, you could probably find a different kind that didn't do that. But the other problem, of course, is experimenting. You know, it's like, that sucks, you know.
I know some people that keep indoor cats and they just like toilet train them. Like they literally teach their cat to use the toilet. They usually like they start them with a litter box and they start putting like the litter box in the toilet and do all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's really fascinating. I've never had cats myself.
I tried to do
I've
that.
never had one that I thought I could train like that. I can't imagine.
And supposedly you can train dogs to do the same thing.
Well, I tried to teach one of my cats to do it. And I started off with, like you were saying, it's this little litter tray that kind of fits inside the toilet bowl.
Mhm.
And then the idea is that you put less and less in it over time, and then they just get used to going in the toilet. Well, I followed all the instructions and I waited all the appropriate amounts of time, which I no longer remember how long that was, but it was not a short process trying to train a cat. So the last step, of course, is you take away the actual litter part of it and they should just use the toilet. And the cat was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? And then went behind the couch and I said, okay, you can have your litter box back. she was okay with going on the toilet as long as it had the litter in it, but I was like, well, all right, never mind.
I mean, Asen, you know, prefers to go outside, but I've also got, you know, paper in an area that, you know, if he can't get outside in time, he will use the paper. But the first time I did it, it was so fun. I didn't have any puppy pads at the time, and I knew that he needed to go. So I just put a Kleenex on the floor. Okay, you know, Kleenex is, you know, all right. Everybody's seen Asen. So Asen puts he gets his little paws. His paws are on the Kleenex. Okay, and then he sticks his little, you know, he squats down. Well, the edge of the tissue was here and the poop was here.
Yeah. Whoops, I'm not gonna.
You know,
That
I
did not
couldn't
work out
yell
well.
at him because I told him to
tried.
put on the tissue. Well, his little paws were on the tissue. It's just that, you know,
God,
his aim was not very good.
Yeah, I don't think there's any pads big enough for my dog anymore.
You have a big dog?
Doberman.
Ah, yeah.
Mm.
Relatively big, yeah. We had dogs growing up. So like when I was really little, we had a German Shepherd and then we had a Saint Bernard. So yeah, my mom and my dad were not into little dogs. They had big, huge dogs. So we could almost ride the German.
We have both.
We could almost ride the Saint Bernard because, you know, we were little enough and it was big enough.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
our German Shepherd is such a beta. It's not even funny. You would think that, you know, with his size, he's the biggest dog we have, that he would, you know, kind of take over as an alpha. Asen can look up at him, growl, get on his hind legs and push him, and the dog runs away. Okay, well, I'm not allowed in here. And he won't come in my room because Asen will just stand at the door and growl at him, and you know, the German Shepherd just turns around and walks the other way.
The dog version of move along. This is not for you.
And sometimes in Petra's way, she just puts her paw down and goes, swap. So
My neighbor has 3 dogs, one very large dog. It's a mixed breed, but it's really big. And one sort of medium size and a Chihuahua. And the Chihuahua is the boss of the house. Yeah.
I can see that. Chihuahuas are a lot more
They're feisty.
Yeah. that's
Asen
true.
is 50% Chihuahua.
Yeah.
His daddy was a full-blooded Chihuahua.
This lady that used to cut my hair, she has I guess a standard size Chihuahua. It took me a long time to understand that they came in different sizes too, you know. So it's not an itty bitty little guy. He's like, you know, this about that, not counting his tail, you know. And every time I would knock on the door, you know, and it sound like he's gonna just
Noisy.
rip your head off if you just let him. And then you go in, and then once he recognizes you after you've met him a few times, he's like, oh right, you can pet me, okay. And then his whole body gets into the whole shaking thing, you know.
Little Thor, that's our Chihuahua. He loves to play ball. Asen loves to play ball. And we'll throw the ball, and they'll both go running after it. Well, after a few times, you know, Thor will decide, oh, I'll just let the kid do it. You know, he'll bring it to me.
Yeah, like no.
Because Asen is 4.5.
Wow.
Hmm.
And so that makes Thor was 2 when he was born. So that makes him like 7.5, or
Wow.
about 6.5 or 7.
Petra's birthday was yesterday.
Cool. How old is
She was
I'm
2.
guessing it's a girl, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
I
how
didn't
old are you?
realize it was the name of a place because geography is not my strong point. And I named her after that girl in Ender's.
Ender's Game?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if that's where you got it from. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but I didn't know it was the name of a city in Jordan. I really didn't. People are
Oh.
like, "Oh, do you have some connection with Jordan?"
Hmm.
No, more like Dublin.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah, I've named most of my animals from something from science fiction or, you know, the comic books. It's just, you know, Loki got named after Loki in Marvel. India is the first one that I've had that wasn't named after something like that.
Well, the new girl that's playing the Queen in Bridgerton, her name is India.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I named my black cat India after India ink, because you know, the black India ink. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why
So
she's-
everything in a hospital
Mhm.
has an expiration date on it, right?
Okay.
And I'm telling you that if you went down into some unknown pharaoh's tomb that they discovered next week and found India ink, it
Mhm.
would
It probably would. Yes.
okay. But you had to buy these box, and it was about yay big, and it had 500 ampules, single-use ampules for in India ink,
Mhm.
which we use in microbiology, and for just 2 particular stains, but you have to have some on hand. Okay, so every couple of years the accreditation people come, and you can't have anything out of date. You can't have. That used to be my one little for the auditors, was I would hide that in my office because I swear to God, you know, that asteroid could hit the Earth that Rumhutat said, and that India ink would be fine. So I
Just
just
like
used
the
to hide it
cockroaches.
in my office because I just was like my one little piece of rebellion.
But like, yeah, doesn't expire. It barely even goes bad. Yeah.
It
Why would they
does.
put expiration dates on salt?
It wasn't like I do that with a drug. It was just, it's a stain, for the love of Pete.
Yep. Let's see. So I had a cat named Callie after Callie and Blake 7. And I had one named Mel after the one of the Doctor's companions in Doctor Who. Trying to remember what. Oh, and Jonesy after the cat and Aliens.
That's
Alien,
a
Alien.
good one.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it was the same color, and I was just like, "Yep, Jonesy sounds good to me." And he said, "All right." And I think I'm missing a cat. I'm just trying to remember who it was.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think that's it. I haven't had a whole lot of cats actually. because my first cat, she lived to be 21 and she did not like having other cats around. So she was an only cat for most of her 21 years. So, you know, went a whole long time, which was one cat. So,
Well, Terry, it's time.
Yeah, I think it's
goodness, I
about
didn't
time.
realize what time it was. Cool. Well, it was fun just chatting. Yay.
Yeah, casual chat. That's what this was.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up and chatting with us, everybody. Appreciate it. And hope to see you guys all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
All righty.
Good
Night-night.
night, everyone.
Night, everybody.